She was hired to clean the floors, but ended up saving a $200 million contract with one line of code. Nobody expects to find brilliance in the janitor's closet. But that night, someone did. It was a Thursday, just after 11:30 p.m. in Palo Alto, California. The offices of Neurodyne Analytics were dead quiet. You could have heard a pen drop 3 floors down. Most of the team had cleared out hours ago. Only a few blue lights still glowed from the server room down the hall. Bradley Kenton, the CEO, was in no mood for small talk. He wasn't even supposed to be there. He'd flown back early from a funding pitch in Seattle after hearing whispers that the Pentagon contract, the one they'd been chasing for almost 2 years, was falling through. $200 million. Months of work, slipping through their fingers. He parked in the basement garage, rode the elevator to the top floor, and stepped into the suite wearing jeans, a black hoodie, and that stone-stiff look he got when numbers weren't adding up. His plan was simple: review the neural net model himself, find the bottleneck, see if his team had missed something. But halfway down the hallway, he paused. There was someone already in the lab. The glow of a monitor lit up a small part of the dark room. At first, he figured it was one of the junior engineers staying late, maybe even Jun Park from the DevOps team. But the silhouette sitting at the desk didn't match any of his team. Whoever it was, they were typing fast. Not just typing. Working. Focused. Intent. Moving through lines of code like it was second nature. Bradley stepped closer. That's when he saw her. Monica Traylor, the janitor, late 40s, wore the same blue Neurodyne custodial polo every day, usually in and out by midnight. She never said much. Headphones in, did her job. Nobody asked questions. Nobody really noticed her. But here she was, hunched over a terminal that should have required a security badge she didn't have. Her hair tied back in a loose bun, glasses perched on her nose. And the screen in front of her? She was rewriting core logic from the neural model's data ingestion phase, and doing it right. Bradley didn't speak right away. He just stood there, arms crossed, watching. After a moment, Monica must have felt the heat of someone behind her. She turned slowly, taking off her glasses like she'd just been caught stealing. Their eyes met, hers wide with caution, his narrowed in disbelief. "You're not supposed to be on that computer," he said, low and sharp. "I know," Monica replied, steady, "but I saw the logs. The error rates were climbing. I thought I could help." "You thought you could help," he repeated. She stood up, not defensive, but composed. "I've been studying the structure for months. The data pre-processing logic, your engineers overcomplicated it. That's why your model's been stalling in second-phase simulations." He blinked. No smugness in her tone. No stuttering. Just calm. Like she was talking about folding laundry. "How do you even have access to this?" he asked. "I don't," she answered. "I memorized the root password when one of your guys left it up on the whiteboard 2 weeks ago. Not very secure." Bradley took a breath and walked around her, eyes scanning the screen. And sure enough, she wasn't wrong. She had restructured a data cleaning function in a way that shaved off 78% of the processing time, then rewired the token sequencing to optimize batch loads, stuff even he hadn't thought of. "Where did you learn this?" he muttered. Monica shrugged. "Online, Coursera, MIT OpenCourseWare, documentation. I read a lot during my lunch breaks." He stared at her. This couldn't be real. The janitor, his janitor, was solving problems his entire engineering department couldn't crack in 6 months. But the thing is, she didn't look surprised. And that's what really messed with his head. But as much as Bradley tried to process it, he hadn't seen anything yet. Bradley didn't say much at first. He just stared at the monitor, then at Monica, like he was trying to solve her. The lines of code glowed against the black terminal. Her cursor blinked right after a function that looked cleaner and more precise than anything he'd seen from his lead developer in weeks. She stood there, hands lightly folded in front of her, not apologizing, not trying to explain herself away. Bradley finally asked, "What's your background?" Monica didn't flinch. "High school diploma, some college, never finished." "That's not what I meant." She took a second. "I was working toward a computer science degree back in Alabama. Had to drop out when my mom got sick. She had early onset dementia. I took care of her until she passed." Bradley leaned back against the desk. "That was how long ago?" 8 years, she said. "Been working cleaning jobs ever since. Pays the bills. Lets me breathe." He looked at her again, really looked. This woman who cleaned trash bins and wiped down desks just rewrote core functions in a machine learning algorithm used by defense contractors. Monica, you realize what you just touched could get you fired, sued, even arrested? She nodded. I do, but if I'm being honest, I didn't think anyone would even notice. Bradley let out something between a sigh and a scoff. You're sitting at a restricted terminal running classified code at 1 a.m. You didn't think anyone would notice? I didn't think anyone would care, she said plainly. That answer hit him harder than he expected. The silence stretched. The hum of the AC unit above them was the only sound in the room. I don't even know how to respond to this, Bradley said. You're telling me you've just been reading code during your breaks? For fun? Not for fun, for practice, she replied. I couldn't afford to finish school, but I figured if I can't buy the degree, maybe I can earn the skill. Bradley rubbed his forehead, feeling the headache build behind his eyes. All right, step back from the terminal. Monica complied, not scared, not proud, just still. He sat down in her place, scrolled through the logs, compared her changes to the version history. Everything she said checked out. Not only was the model faster now, it was more accurate. He ran a quick test. The output aligned perfectly with the sample objectives. You know this contract could be our entire Q4 revenue stream, right? He asked, still looking at the screen. Yes, she said. And you knew the model was broken? Yes. So why didn't you tell anyone? She let out a short breath, almost a laugh. You've got a team of engineers with master's degrees from Stanford and Caltech. You think they're going to take advice from a woman pushing a mop? Bradley spun in the chair to face her. If what you're saying is true, we've had 25 people working on this problem full-time for 4 months. You just solved it in what? An hour? 47 minutes, she said. He blinked again. Okay, you're either a genius or you've been playing us for a long time. I'm not playing anyone, Monica said. I just wanted to see if I could fix it. That's all. She started to turn toward the door, almost like she was going to walk out and pretend this never happened. But Bradley stood. Wait. She stopped. He pointed at the code. You know exactly what you're looking at. That's not just reading documentation. Monica didn't say anything, but the way she looked at him said it all. She wasn't bragging. She wasn't trying to impress him. She just knew what she knew. And for the first time in a long time, someone finally saw it. But Bradley wasn't ready to tell the board he trusted a janitor over his chief engineer. At least not yet. Bradley didn't sleep that night. He sat in his office, eyes fixed on the ceiling. Monica's face burned into his thoughts. Her tone, her poise, that code. By 7 a.m., he had already called a private meeting. No assistants, no calendar invites, just 3 names written down on a sticky note. Clayton Hsu, lead systems architect. Marla Bishop, senior ML strategist. Dev Patel, project manager on the defense contract. They arrived by 8:15, all wearing confusion on their faces. Did I miss something? Marla asked, setting her laptop on the table. Nope, Bradley said. You're right on time. He didn't waste any more of it. There was a breakthrough on the Nexus model last night. Clayton raised an eyebrow. A breakthrough? Who? You? Bradley ignored the jab. Someone saw a bottleneck in our batch pipeline and rewrote the token processor. Validation tests came back with a 9.3% accuracy increase. Computation time dropped by almost 80%. Dev whistled. That's impossible. It wasn't the engineers, Bradley said. It was Monica. Silence. Monica who? Marla asked. Monica Traylor, he said. Our overnight custodian. They blinked. Marla chuckled. No, seriously, she said. Who made the fix? I just told you. Clayton frowned. You're saying the janitor accessed restricted data, rewrote core logic, and now you want to bring that into production? Bradley sat down. Not yet. I want you all to meet her first. Dev crossed his arms. So we're just taking her word for it? Bradley didn't answer. He looked toward the door. Monica stepped in, holding a small notebook. Same uniform, same quiet look. No one said anything at first. Then Marla gave a half smile. Hi there. Morning, Monica replied calmly. Bradley gestured to the whiteboard. Monica, would you mind walking them through what you did? Monica nodded and stepped forward. She didn't hesitate. She didn't ramble. She picked up a dry erase marker and started drawing a simplified version of the model architecture, layer by layer, function by function. She pointed out which parameters were redundant, how memory was being wasted in the sharding layer, and what changes she made to preserve context without sacrificing performance. Marla sat up straighter. Dev stopped playing with his pen. Clayton squinted at the board like someone had just written the answer key to a final exam he failed. "And you did this when?" he asked. "Between 11:45 and 12:30 last night," she said. "Where did you learn this technique?" Marla asked. Monica tapped her temple. "Years of reading and watching. Algorithms don't care where you come from, just whether you're right." Dev leaned forward. "You understand we've been pouring millions into this model, right? This is DoD-level complexity." "I know," Monica replied. "That's why I didn't touch anything permanent. I wrote a shadow script and tested it against your last data set. No live system interference." Bradley glanced at Clayton, who looked somewhere between impressed and threatened. "So," Bradley said, "is what she's saying valid?" Clayton sighed. "It's not just valid, it's sharp. Real sharp." Marla added, "If we package this right, it'll save us weeks of back-end tuning." Dev muttered, "And maybe save the contract altogether." Monica stood quietly, marker still in hand. Bradley turned to her. "What do you want?" She raised her eyebrows. "Excuse me? You just fixed a $200 million problem. What do you want in return?" She didn't blink. "A seat at the table, no handouts, no PR stunt, just the chance to earn my way in." The room went quiet again. Bradley looked at the others. "You heard her." Marla nodded slowly. Dev gave a single approving tap of his pen. Clayton hesitated, then said, "She's not wrong, but this changes a lot." But not everyone in the company was going to be happy about Monica taking a seat that wasn't meant for her. By noon that same day, the company wasn't buzzing. It was boiling. Word spread fast at Neurodyne. Too fast. It started with whispers in the hallway, then Slack threads, then kitchen break room debates over lukewarm coffee. "Wait, who fixed the Nexus model? You're kidding, the janitor? No way. This is some PR stunt." Bradley lost it. People didn't say Monica's name, they said the janitor, like she hadn't just saved the company from falling apart at the seams. Bradley watched the reactions unfold from the 6th floor window. He saw the quick glances Monica got when she walked by, the fake smiles, the awkward silence when she stepped into a room. He had given her temporary access to the R&D floor, strictly under review, of course. But that didn't stop the stares. Monica ignored it all. She clocked in at 7 a.m. the next morning, just like she always did. Same uniform. Except this time, instead of a mop, she carried a laptop in her backpack. Marla made space for her at a spare desk in the corner. Clayton didn't say much. Dev avoided eye contact. But Monica, she just got to work. Bradley checked in on her an hour later. She had already rewritten the failover sequence in the anomaly detector and found an indexing error that had gone unnoticed for 6 months. "You sleep last night?" he asked. She nodded without looking up. "A little. Slept better than I have in years." He smiled. "You sure you're okay with all this?" "I'm not here to be liked," she said. "I'm here to build something better." Bradley respected that, but not everyone did. By day 3, the anonymous complaints started rolling in. She accessed sensitive data without clearance. She's a liability. This sets a dangerous precedent. Clayton forwarded one email to Bradley that just read, "We work our whole lives for these roles. Now anyone can just clean the floors and leapfrog us?" Bradley didn't respond, but he saved it. He pulled Monica aside that afternoon. "I need to ask you something," he said. "No pressure." She looked up from her screen. "I want to bring you in officially, not as a temp, not under review, as a junior systems engineer, with full clearance, pay bump, benefits, the whole package. It won't make the noise go away, but it'll draw a line in the sand." Monica stared at him. "You sure your board's going to be okay with that?" "I don't care what they're okay with," Bradley said. "They didn't stay up and fix that model. You did." She let out a slow breath. "All right, but I'm not looking to be anyone's miracle story. I just want to work." He smiled. "Then that's exactly what you'll do." That afternoon, Bradley called a company-wide meeting in the first-floor auditorium. Over 200 employees filled the seats. Engineers, interns, HR, security. He stood at the podium, no PowerPoint, no graphics, just a mic and a message. "I'm going to keep this short," he began. "Many of you know about the fix on the Nexus model. What you may not know is that the breakthrough came from someone most of you have passed in the hallway 100 times without saying a word. Her name is Monica Traylor. She's not just part of our team now, she's a key reason this company still has a future." Murmurs rolled through the crowd. Bradley continued, "I don't care what school someone went to or what title is on their email signature. What I care about is competence. And if someone proves they've got it, they deserve the chance to use it." He paused, then added, "Monica, welcome to the team." Some clapped. Most didn't. Monica stood up slowly near the back of the room. She didn't wave. She didn't smile. She just nodded once, then sat back down. But one person's applause lasted a little too long, and it wasn't out of support. It was out of spite. By the end of the week, Monica had already done more than most junior engineers do in 6 months. She didn't say much in meetings. She wasn't trying to prove a point. She just worked, solved problems, wrote clean, thoughtful code. And quietly, project by project, she started pulling the entire Nexus program out of the ditch it had been sinking into. Bradley was watching it happen. So was Marla. Even Dev, who had initially kept his distance, started tagging her on code review tickets. But not everyone was on board. It started small. A missing credentials file here, a broken login there, a firewall rule mysteriously changed. Monica didn't complain. She fixed each one without fanfare. But by the third time her access was mysteriously revoked, again, she went straight to Bradley's office. "Someone's doing this on purpose," she said. Bradley sighed, leaned back, rubbed his temples. "You think it's Clayton?" Monica didn't answer. She didn't have to. Clayton had been quiet. Too quiet. He hadn't submitted a single update in over a week, hadn't spoken to her outside of code comments. His face in meetings was flat, cold, unreadable. Bradley stood up. "All right, I'll handle it." But the next morning, it got worse. At 9:12 a.m., Monica's code from the anomaly detector was overwritten, not edited, deleted. Her contributions removed from the repository, no backup, no record of the commits in the version history, like she never touched it. She stood there staring at the screen, frozen. Marla walked by and saw the look on her face. "What's wrong?" Monica pointed to the monitor. Marla's eyes widened. "That can't be right. There's no way this just disappeared." "It didn't just disappear," Monica said. "Someone wiped it." They both looked at each other, then went straight to Bradley. An hour later, they had pulled audit logs from the server. Whoever had deleted her code had done it under a fake admin account. But the IP trace led to one machine, Clayton's. Bradley confronted him in the break room, alone. "You did it?" he asked, arms folded, jaw tight. Clayton didn't deny it. He just leaned against the counter and said, "She doesn't belong here." Bradley blinked. "What?" "She didn't earn it," Clayton said. "You let her in through the back door. You think if she was some dude named Tyler with a CS degree, this would have played out the same?" Bradley's face didn't change. "I think if she were a guy named Tyler, he wouldn't have solved the damn problem." Clayton shook his head. "You've lost control of your team." "No," Bradley said quietly. "I'm just finally listening to the right people." By noon, Clayton's badge was deactivated. Security walked him out without a word. No drama, no scene, just silence. Some people whispered, a few cheered. Most just kept their heads down. That afternoon, Monica was quiet. She stayed at her desk, restoring what had been erased, typing line after line like it was muscle memory. Marla brought her coffee. Dev sat next to her and offered help rebuilding the model. Nobody said much, but the energy had shifted. Bradley came by later and said, "You didn't deserve that. I'm sorry." Monica looked up and gave the smallest nod. "I've had worse. I'm still here." He smiled. "Yeah, you are." That evening, after everyone left, Monica stayed behind again. She walked past the computer lab, the break room, the empty hallway, then down the stairs to the lobby. She stood there looking at the reflection in the glass, her Neurodyne badge now clipped to her backpack, her name etched under the title, Junior Systems Engineer. It was real. Not charity, not luck, not a mistake. She'd been invisible for years. Now? Not anymore. But the biggest test wasn't behind her. It was waiting in an email she hadn't opened yet. It was just past 10 p.m. when Monica finally powered down her workstation. The lab was quiet again. No sabotage this time, no whispers, just the soft blue glow of her screen and the hum of her overworked thoughts. She stretched her fingers, cracked her neck, then reached for her bag. When she noticed it, one new email. Subject line, private, DoD request for individual review. She clicked. Inside was a formal request from a Department of Defense contractor named Lynch and Braver Systems, one of the firms overseeing the Nexus project. They'd received logs of her changes, her code. Apparently, someone on the Pentagon's tech team had flagged it. They were impressed. No, more than impressed. They wanted to schedule a private technical debrief. Just her. Monica sat back, rereading the message 3 times. The email ended with a line she hadn't expected. We believe your insight could be crucial to future contracts. If you're interested in consulting independently, we're prepared to offer terms immediately. She didn't move, just stared at the screen, barely breathing. The next morning, she showed Bradley. He leaned forward in his chair, mouth pressed into a hard line. They're trying to poach you. Monica shook her head. They're trying to test me, see if I'm real or if this was some lucky guess. Bradley was quiet for a moment, then he said, You should do it. Monica blinked. You're serious? Yeah, he said. You earned that spotlight. I'm not going to block you. Hell, I'll vouch for you if they need a reference. She studied him. Even if it means losing me? He nodded. Even then. A moment passed. I'm not going, Monica said. Not yet. Let me finish what I started here. They can wait. Bradley smiled, but deep down, he knew the clock had started ticking. Monica's presence had become more than an asset. She was a symbol now, a challenge to the way the company, and maybe the whole damn industry, looked at talent. Not everyone saw it that way. Some execs upstairs started talking, behind closed doors, in private emails. Bradley found out through Marla, who overheard a conversation near the elevators. They're saying you're making the company look unstable, she told him. Like you're letting emotion get in the way of structure. They're afraid, Bradley said, because for once, structure didn't save them. A janitor did. That week, the CEO of Lynch and Braver flew in from D.C. to meet with Monica face-to-face. He came with an entourage, walked in wearing a gray suit and polished shoes, expecting a genius in a lab coat. Instead, Monica met him in cargo pants and a windbreaker, hair tied up, holding a thumb drive. She walked them through the model. Not once did she ask for anything. She just explained her thinking, showed them what she fixed, how she knew it would work. And when the executive leaned back and said, You know, you could be leading your own team by this time next year, Monica just smiled. I don't want a team, she said. I want a better system, one where people like me don't have to wait 12 years to be taken seriously. Bradley, standing in the corner, just nodded. That afternoon, Lynch and Braver offered Neurodyne full retention of the defense contract. With a condition, Monica would stay on board as the lead technical advisor for all Nexus modules. Marla was the first to cheer. Dev fist-bumped her in front of the whole floor. Clayton? He was gone, and no one missed him. As the day wound down, Monica sat at her new desk, now by the window, with a plaque that just read, M. Trailer, System Specialist. No mop, no uniform, no one telling her what she couldn't do. Just work, just code, just proof. But there was one more conversation Monica had to have, one she'd avoided for too long. Monica had the office to herself again, late Friday night, same building, same floor. But everything had changed. The badge clipped to her waist now opened doors she used to mop behind. People stopped her in the halls, not to hand her trash, but to ask for her insight. Her name showed up in meeting invites, not the nightly maintenance logs. But still, there was something unfinished. She stared at her phone, finger hovering over a name in her contacts she hadn't tapped in 2 years. Alana Traylor, her older sister. They hadn't spoken since their mother's funeral. Too many words left unsaid. Too much resentment over who did what and who didn't. Monica had dropped out of school. Alana had moved across the country. They both made sacrifices. But Monica had taken the longer road, the lonelier one. She hit call before she could talk herself out of it. It rang twice. Monica? Alana's voice was cautious, tired. Hey, Monica said, trying to sound casual. Got a minute? Silence. Then, yeah, what's going on? I just wanted to tell you something, and it's probably going to sound crazy. Alana laughed under her breath. It's been 2 years. You could tell me you moved to Mars and I'd believe you. Monica smiled, then told her everything: the fix, the confrontation, the sabotage, the defense contract, Clayton getting fired, Bradley standing up for her. She even mentioned the Pentagon meeting. When she finished, there was a long pause. Then Alana said, "You're not joking?" "No." Monica, you were always smart. You just never gave yourself credit." "I gave myself credit," Monica said softly. "Nobody else did." Another pause. "I'm proud of you," Alana said. "I know we haven't said that stuff in a long time, but I mean it. Mom would have lost her mind hearing this." Monica looked down at her keyboard, blinking away the sting behind her eyes. Yeah, she would have. They stayed on the line a while longer, talking about smaller things, dumber things, safe things, but something had cracked open, and for once it didn't hurt. The next morning, Bradley gathered the core team for a final Nexus presentation to the board. Monica sat at the table this time. No more standing by the wall, no more pretending not to belong. The boardroom was quiet as the projections loaded. Bradley gave a short introduction, then turned to Monica. "You good?" he asked under his breath. She nodded. "Let's go." Monica stood, walked them through her improvements, flawless, answered technical questions without notes, then paused at the last slide. "This wasn't about making the system faster," she said. "It was about making it better, cleaner, fairer. That starts with who you let touch the machine." Some board members nodded, others just stared, but none of them could argue. The numbers were on her side. The contract was secure, and the system, their system, was better because of her. After the meeting, as people packed up their laptops and pushed in their chairs, Bradley stepped up beside her. "You're gonna have choices now," he said. "I know. Better money, bigger titles. Probably. But whatever you choose, don't forget this. What you did here, how it started." She looked at him. "I won't." He paused, then grinned. "And, don't forget to bill them double." She laughed. That night, Monica walked through the same hallway she used to sweep. Same floors, same flickering light near the elevator. But now, every step felt different. Like she wasn't erasing footsteps anymore. She was making them. And somewhere, a woman mopping hospital floors in Alabama, taking care of her sick mother, trying to memorize Python functions off a borrowed library laptop. She was finally seen. Because it was never about what Monica looked like, or what degree she didn't have. It was about what she knew, what she saw, and the fact that she never stopped learning, no matter who stopped paying attention. If you're watching this, and someone's made you feel like your potential comes with a gate, a price tag, or an expiration date, remember Monica Traylor. Keep learning, keep building, and when no one sees you, see yourself. Someone always needs the problem only you know how to solve.